Stabbing mobs is truly one of the most important things you can do in Skyblock, but what sword is the right weapon? In this video, iCheppy is going to test out 5 different mid-game weapons to tell you which one is the best.
I'm going to test my damage with a Levitt Dagger, an AOTD, a Warped AOTD, a Pigment Sword, and a 3mm Midas, because those are one of the better swords in the game. But which one is the best? Let's find out now. I already have a Levitt Dagger, which is my main weapon, and an AOTD, which was one of my first weapons ever. I was also able to find a Pigment Sword somewhere. I think I had it since Dungeons first came out, and it was one of the best swords for Mage. But I'm still missing a Warped AOTE and a Midas, so I'm going to ask my guild and hopefully someone will let me borrow theirs.
A few moments later.
Okay, screw my purse, I'm just gonna buy the swords from AH. So here I have a spicy Levitt Dagger, a spicy AOTD, and a warped aspect of the end. I also have a Pigment Sword and a 2.4mm Midas, which we'll have to reforge to spicy right now. Okay, hopefully this won't take too long, because I already wasted a ton of money on this video. Please give me spicy. Now, 3, 2, 1... Okay, no, never mind. Let's go, finally spicy. And spicy here too. I also need to enchant this Midas sword, otherwise the test results aren't gonna be accurate. Godbooks are so expensive and they're not even good godbooks. I'm gonna have to spend so much money on this video. Why does it take 208 levels to apply this? Oh, of course it's a 5 annual use book. Now I gotta spend an entire stack of grand bottles to enchant this. Finally, we got all our swords reforged and enchanted and we can do the test. First, we're going to start with this AOTD. It has always been the most iconic mid-game sword, but now when they added a bunch of new weapons, you can't be so sure. It has 245 damage and 130 strength, assuming that it's reforged and HP beat. The ability is Dragon Rage. Hit monsters to take large knockback. It's pretty useless. I do around 60k with an AOTD. It's pretty good, but can we do better? The 3mm Midas is next because it is similar price to other swords. Midas swords became pretty bad compared to the newer dungeon swords, so people don't actually pay 50mm for them in the dark auction. This Midas has 184 damage and 44 strength. On average, I was doing 62k damage per hit. Already from that, we can see that the Midas is not a very good sword, because it costed me 3 times more than that AOTD, but the damage is significantly lower. The AOTD is a sword you should have no matter what stage of the game you're on, because of its TP abilities. But is it worth putting Warped on it? A Warp Stone costs 3.8 mil to buy and costs 5 mil to apply to your AOTE. After warping your AOTD, you'll have 360 damage and 285 strength, assuming that it has Hot Potato Box on it. On average, I was doing 90 to 90k per hit. This damage is way better than my AOTD, but keep in mind that a warped AOTD costs around 9 times more than an AOTD. Strong Armor has an ability that boosts AOTE damage. So if you're using any other set, your damage might be different. The Pigment Sword used to be insane for dungeons, but now it's pretty useless. It costs 6 mil to buy from AH, it has 212 damage and 122 strength, assuming it has 12 Hot Potato Books on it and it's reforged. It also adds 6 crit chance and 170 crit damage, which is actually a lot. With the Pigment Sword, on average, I was doing 59k damage a hit. A Pigment Sword sucks compared to an AOTD, because it does less damage while it costs 6 times more. The Levitt Dagger costs 8.6 mil from AH and gives 230 damage, 90 strength, 100 crit chance, 180 crit damage, and 100% bonus attack speed. The Levitt Dagger does 100% more damage with back hits, and it has a cool ability where you can throw your dagger at enemies. With the Levitt Dagger, I was doing 60k damage per hit. When I was hitting enemies from the back, I was doing 120k. But keep in mind that my talismans weren't reforged for pure damage, because if they were, the damage might be a bit higher. In conclusion, here are the standings. An AOTD and the Levitt Dagger are in the first place. They both have very balanced stats, but different uses. An AOTD is the ultimate starter weapon, but the Levitt Dagger is good for richer players who play dungeons. In the second place, we have a Warped AOTE. It costs the same amount as a Levitt Dagger, however can't be used in dungeons. It has to be used with strong armor, otherwise the damage is going to be the same as a Levitt Dagger. A Pigment Sword is third on our list, because it's basically a worse version of an AOTD, but 6 times more expensive. In the last place we have a 2.4mm Midas, because it sucks.
If you enjoy our content, like the video and smash that subscribe button. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.